next project, we're going to work with an artist named Charles Demuth. He is an American-born artist, and he followed Cubism and Fauvism and made up his own little idea of precisionism. And the idea is that now that industry and businesses are taking over, everything comes out very precise and man-made. Industrialization is taking over, modernization, all kinds of stuff like that. And so this is reflected in his work. You can see that. He worked a lot with paintings of landscapes, and in particular, he liked to paint street signs and stuff like that that were just pumped out and pumped into our American culture that we saw all the time. So we're going to do something that reflects his number 5 painting. This is one of his most famous paintings, and this is in the MoMA up in New York. And so you can see the repetition of these numbers, and you can also see how stylized it is. So we're going to work with a lot of fonts too, and I'll show you a little bit about that. We'll break this down into simple steps, and then we'll get a nice big picture going with this, lots of color and stuff like that. All right, so let me show you how we're going to do that. So you're going to get a handout with some different fonts on there. If you have time and you want to look up some of your own, that's fine. But I tried to get a nice little variety from Roman to cursive and stuff like that. Then you're also going to get a handout that you're going to work on, a worksheet. And on this is where you're going to create 2 sketches. And we'll pick one of those sketches to go onto your main piece of artwork. And we'll start to transfer that on there tomorrow, or next week, I'm sorry. You're going to choose 5 to 7 letters, numbers, or characters. So if you look, for example, at this first one, you can choose any of these letters. You could use lowercase letters. You could use numbers. And you can also use these symbols like the and sign, the dollar sign, stuff like that. So you want to have 5 to 7 altogether. You want to put them on here so that one of the numbers or letters is the focal point, which means, of course, it's going to be bigger and it's going to take up a little bit more space. We're also going to enhance it with some color so that we really use that as a point of emphasis. Vary the sizes of your numbers or letters, and have some go off the page, and you can also turn some a little bit sideways. So let me show you what you're kind of thinking about. Here's one which has 5 letters, numbers, and symbols. Some are running off the page, as you can see here. Some are overlapping, like the 5 is on top of the 3, the Q is on top of the 5, question mark. See, they're all interconnected a little bit. This one even touches the edges of those papers, so it uses the paper space pretty well. Notice that they're outlined nice and fat because we are going to color inside of these. So you want to take some of these letters and make them nice and fat so that you have a space. None of them should be lines. They should all be shapes of some kind. You can also see how some are a little bit more diagonal rather than up and down. So you can change them around that way. All right? So just think about some ideas. Be creative about how you can put some of those together. And use a variety of fonts too. Like you might want to use a capital letter from this one, a lowercase letter from this one, and a symbol from this one. You know, think about stuff like that. All right? Have fun with it. And we're going to get 2 designs done. Bye-bye.